We're at Lakeside here to promote Top Tier's Chaos show that comes to you from the Brentwood Centre on February the 10th. We've been talking to all the fighters today, so last but certainly not least, have to get to the promoter, Johnny Clark. Johnny, I've really enjoyed talking to all the fighters on the card today. They've all been really up for it, to be honest. You can see that they're all looking forward to the show. And there are some really good matchups. And that's what you've been looking to try and do ever since you got into the sport, basically, is put on some good 50-50 fights between fighters who are relishing the platform and the opportunity.
Yes, to be fair, I have to find a certain fighter to be on my show because they have to be up for fighting in the 50-50, not too bothered about losing, because that gets in their head a lot and that stops for me, from progressing in the sport. And they're all here today. They was all buzzing to be interviewed by yourself, to be, with all the media outlets coming to see them, and it just builds them and their career, and hopefully they get on bigger shows and bigger shots.
Do you sometimes have to talk people into it? Do you sometimes have to sit a fighter down and kind of almost explain the realities of the business to them and just say, listen, I know this might not have been the plan to take this kind of fight, but here's why you should do it?
Yeah, and I think now, padded records, they're kind of being noticed a lot by fans and friends of the boxer, and it all comes down to ticket sales in small hall. And what we're getting now is like managers with the same mentality as me preaching to their fighters, and they're coming to me and I'm like, look, if you want to be on my show, this is what I'm going to need from you. And then, for instance, take Finley Judd. He wanted to come on, and I said, well, here's Kevin Revell. He's won, he's lost. Great for you, you're 4-0. Straight away, yes, I want that. Click of a finger. And the other way round as well, Kevin Revell went, yes, please. And that was made literally 3 seconds. Wasn't even that, 2 text messages, and it was done. And that's what I need on my show, and I need that mentality with me.
Another one that really interests me is Grant Dennis agreed to take on Paul Osborne, because Grant Dennis is a really experienced fighter. I remember seeing him box Elliot Matthews for the English title a good few years ago now, but I wondered whether he was heading to the away corner, those fights against Mark Dickinson and Kevin Aguiarco. He was telling me he's still got plenty of ambition. It's high risk, low reward for him this though, isn't it? Because Paul Osborne's 4-0.
Yeah, Ozzy Osborne. Yeah, he's either going to be old man or he's going to look like an old man. So I'm excited for it. I don't think it goes the distance, 10 rounds. I'm swinging towards Ozzy. I've helped build him and I've seen what he's capable of, and this means the world to him. But then I look at Grant and I speak to him and then I kind of swing that way, I think that's what you get with 50-50s, and that's why people want to be there, because boxers are going to sell tickets to their friends and family. They're going to see your interviews, they're going to see interviews on IFL, Boxing Social and the other media outlets. They're going to think, I want to stay and watch that last fight because I've seen the build-up and I think it's a really good fight, and that's what I need to do.
You've got an English title fight as well at Super Bantam. Zahid Hussain rematching Andre Grant. And the interesting thing about this one really is that Zahid doesn't really understand why he's having to take the rematch here, because he feels like he won the first fight quite comfortably. But, Grant's team kind of petitioned for it, as far as I understand it. The board agreed to it, and you got asked, do you fancy it? Do you fancy putting it on? So it's quite, it's kind of an unusual scenario.
It is, but when they asked me, I was like, go on then, why not? I love a title fight, and to have it on my show is a pleasure. I watched their last show and the fight, and I thought an English title deserves a little bit more than what they was actually fighting in. The footage, the build-up, the production on the night, and I thought I would love to give them that. And Zahid, obviously, when he see the actual build-up and what I do, he agreed to come down from Leeds to here to give me that, because he knows how much effort I'm putting in. So I'm glad and grateful that he done that, and I'm going to give him hopefully one of his best nights in boxing back.
And you never know with rematches, do you? Because sometimes you get things that you're not quite expecting. And I was saying to him, it's a potentially dangerous one for him, because having beaten him once, he'll obviously feel like he can beat him again. But Andre Grant, on his part, he must have seen something that makes him think that this time it'll be different.
He's either very deluded, Andre, or he just wants redemption. But for me, it is hard when I speak to fighters to get up for a fight you've already won. But I think they was meant to fight before and it got pulled as well on the rematch. So this one here, I think there's probably a bit of needle, and I'll guarantee that Zahidi, he's up for it, and I can see it in his eyes when I spoke to him. So I know we're in for a decent fight there.
The cruiser fight between Will Hamilton and Toby Vermeer is interesting, because Hamilton, his career's been a bit stop-start, but had a really good amateur background. absolutely loves his training, 100% committed to his training. But he's up against Toby Vermeer, who has been on this incredible weight loss journey, has turned over professional, and from what people tell me about him, there's a bit more to him than meets the eye in terms of the records, in terms of the background. It's not that easy to find out about him.
Yeah, so he just said goodbye to me before our interview, and I said to him, this has been the most spoke about fight to me online of my show. And he said, really? I said, yeah. I said, I'm going to be honest with you, I know Will quite well. I've seen his record, I've seen how he trains, and when he was going to fight in the previous show, because Will had to pull out late, and he had a bit of a niggling injury, Toby, so he said, I'll do the next one if he's on. So straight away I messaged him for it, and I thought, you're a nice man, I don't know if I should set you up in this way. Saying that, every message I've got saying this is a good fight, very close. And then I started looking at it, I thought, well, he's more active, you know, he's boxed a lot more lately compared to Will, but Will trains a lot. So as a promoter, I think it is a good fight. He's still unbeaten, even though he's drawn, isn't he? But yeah, it's a great fight, and like I say, Will's a massive ticket seller. So it's definitely going to be a noisy one as well.
All promoters love a massive ticket seller. All promoters love a massive ticket seller. We were talking as well to Harley Whitwell, Conor Adaway, Brandon Albrecht. They're in fights that they're supposed to win, but they know that given the opportunity they've got, they do need to win and look good, because that's that is very, very important. If you want people to tune in and watch you and see that career progress, then you have to entertain.
Yeah, and that Harley, she's not done many interviews before. She's done 10 today, so she's learning, progressing on this side of the sport as well. And then Conor Adaway, he's fighting the Greek lad Paris. I can't pronounce his last name. Conor's very good, and he's unheard of. So hopefully this platform, people seeing him, the footage we're going to put out there, he gets something good from it. And the next one, maybe a little bit more of a step up as well.
Okay, I think we've covered off the whole card there. I don't think I've left anybody out. I certainly hope not. Anyway, the rest of the year, how is it looking? What are your kind of plans?
Yeah, so 5 shows this year. Last year was 4. So always looking to raise the level, raise the bar, and I want to get more titles, the 50-50s, and hopefully secure a TV deal. That will be my dream year, if I'm being honest.
Okay, always good to have a plan. Always good to have a plan. Well, good to see you. Thanks for inviting me down today. I've really enjoyed it. And roll on February the 10th.
Yeah, see you there.